From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
A man is accused of plotting to shoot up a movie theater, why police are thanking a family member for stopping the foiled plot. An oil rig explodes in the Gulf of Mexico. A look at the damage and the search for survivors. Plus, former CIA Director David Petraeus testifies about the U.S. Embassy attack in Benghazi. A look at the closed-door hearing straight ahead. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's 8 o'clock on this Saturday, November 17th. I'm Patty Moon. Let's first get a check on the weather with Storm Tracker 13's Anders Nelson. Anders, what month are we in? Because I'm looking outside and it doesn't look like November.
It does not feel like November at all. It is a beautiful start to the day. Right now in Woodland Park, we have 41 degrees, and we're tracking clear skies. This is from our Greater Woodland Park Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center camera. Pretty much the same story in Colorado Springs. A couple degrees cooler, but still very comfortable, right around 40 degrees. This is our Brakes Plus camera at 8th Street and Abbott Lane. Clear skies as we look east in Pueblo. Our Parkview Medical Center camera coming in with 43 degrees. Again, temperature-wise, really not a bad way to start the day off. Really tracking a lot of 40s along the I-25 corridor. Colorado Springs officially at the airport coming in at 49 degrees. Still have a few 30s across the plains and 22 for Alamosa, but a bit of an improvement from the 10 we started this morning off at. Temperature-wise, we are a bit warmer than we were 24 hours ago. 5 to nearly 20 degrees for a lot of areas. So again, warmer temperatures are here to start the morning off. We'll be in the 60s by noon, and then by 4 o'clock, 50s and 60s. We'll have a few high clouds throughout the day. And tomorrow, great news. Maybe just dropping a degree or two for most areas, but holding on to a beautiful weekend. How long is this weather going to stick around? We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes. Patty, back to you.
Thank you, Anders. A police officer is in the hospital after being hit in a traffic stop. KRDO News Channel 13's Dana Molina joins us live from where it happened. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning, Patty. We are here at Fillmore and Illinois, where police say this happened shortly after 1. A driver struck a police officer as she was trying to get away from police. Now, we just learned that that driver has been arrested. Now, let's take a look at a map so you can get a visual idea of where this happened. Again, we are at Illinois and Fillmore. Police were making contact with the driver of a suspicious vehicle. They thought it may have stolen license plates. As they tried to stop the driver, she drove off at a high speed, and that's when she struck the officer. After that, there was a short chase, and it ended when the driver crashed her vehicle. She fled on foot and was not immediately caught, but again, we just learned that at this point she has been arrested. And this is who police say the driver was. It was Stephanie Murillo, 29, and she will be charged with third-degree assault and harassment. Now let's come back out here live. The police officer who was injured was taken to the hospital to be treated, and we're told at this point he has been released and is expected to be okay. Reporting live, Dana Molina, KRDO News Channel 13.
That's great news. Thank you, Dana. Also new this morning, police take action after a crowd gets rowdy in downtown Colorado Springs. One person was taken to jail after being tased. A rowdy crowd interfered with his arrest. Police say they only arrested that one person. We're working on getting more information. We'll keep you updated. A judge decided to allow CU to release some documents related to James Holmes. That's new information this morning. This does not include documents protected by privacy laws. The university will get 3 business days to respond to court records requests. A spokesperson for the university said she expects the university to request an extension. This could push the release of any documents to next month. The victims of the Aurora Theater shooting now know how much money they'll get. Here are the final numbers from the Aurora Victim Relief Fund. Families of the 12 people killed and the 5 victims who sustained permanent brain damage or paralysis will each get $220,000. 6 people hospitalized for at least 20 days will each receive $160,000. 2 victims hospitalized for less than 19 days will get a little more than $91,000. A 20-year-old man is accused of plotting a mass shooting at a showing of the newest Twilight movie. It's new this morning. Police in Missouri say Blake Lammers told them he was initially planning to open fire inside a movie theater on Sunday. He then decided to shoot up a Walmart instead so he could get more ammo from the store if he happened to run out. Police started investigating Lammers after his mother called with concerns. She told police Lammers bought weapons similar to those used in the Aurora Theater shooting.
You know, obviously the family member who turned in her loved one, I mean, she needs to be recognized. It was a very difficult thing for her to do, I'm certain.
Lammers is charged with first-degree assault, making a terrorist threat, and armed criminal action. We're uncovering new information about 20-year-old terrorist suspect Mitchell Cusick. He's accused of plotting to kill the president, children, and Broomfield police officers. Turns out his age may have stopped his plan. He tried to buy ammunition from a Broomfield Walmart, but he was denied because he wasn't 21. Cusick's alleged threats were revealed through his therapist. He had Cusick admitted to Lutheran Hospital on a mental health hold.
All therapists are held to certain legal and ethical standards, a duty to warn if someone is a danger to themselves or the community.
His therapist can't speak about the ongoing investigation, but court records show he considered Cusick dangerous enough to alert police. Records state Cusick told his therapist that he has had homicidal fantasies on a daily basis for the past 5 or 6 years. 1 week after former CIA Director David Petraeus stepped down, he's headed back to Capitol Hill. Petraeus testified about the Benghazi attack that killed 4 Americans. Emily Schmidt has more on the details that emerged from the classified hearings.
Various scenarios.
David Petraeus ended a week in the spotlight behind closed congressional doors.
General Petraeus's briefing was comprehensive.
The attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya has become a political issue over when the Obama administration knew what prompted the attack, spontaneous reaction to an anti-Muslim video, or terrorists. Then CIA Director Petraeus briefed lawmakers in September. Now, impressions of that meeting are mixed.
So much of this confusion arises because of the difference between what is classified and what is unclassified.
He had told us that this was a terrorist attack, or there were terrorists involved from the start. I told him in my questions I had a very different recollection of that.
Congressman King said Petraeus testified he had no direct involvement in developing the talking points used by Susan Rice. In early days after the attack, the U.S. ambassador to the UN pointed to the film as a potential cause.
The key is that they were unclassified talking points at a very early stage.
Lawmakers say Petraeus was asked little about his admitted affair with biographer Paula Broadwell.
Anything that occurred with respect to his personal situation had nothing to do with the way he handled Benghazi at all.
Petraeus reportedly was not under oath while testifying, a nod to the job he held before it was lost in a scandal. In Washington, I'm Emily Schmidt.
An oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico burst into flames. 2 workers are now missing and 4 were critically injured. The explosion shot a pillar of black smoke more than 1,000 feet into the air. The fireball was seen more than 20 miles away. Aboard the Black Elk gas platform, an inferno engulfed some of the 22 workers doing routine maintenance. A massive search is now underway for 2 men who jumped into the water and are listed as missing. 11 others were flown to hospitals by helicopter. 2 of them suffered serious injuries.
We can confirm that these 2 patients are in critical condition with major burns.
According to Black Elk, a workman used the wrong kind of blowtorch to cut a section of pipeline, setting off the oil inside. The rig was not actively producing oil or gas, meaning there's little threat of a spill. Yesterday's explosion happened 2.5 years and 85 miles from the massive BP explosion. Earlier this week, BP agreed to pay $4.5 billion in damages. 2 employees were also charged in the deaths of 11 men. Since the disaster, safety rules have tightened with more visits to inspect rigs. A chemical plant in Texas catches fire. The flames were fueled by highly flammable chemicals. Authorities say it's unclear what started the fire. Evacuations were ordered within a quarter mile of the plant yesterday. All workers are now safe and accounted for. The holidays tend to be a time that's not so easy on your waistline. Coming up, a look at adult beverages and how they may be hurting your cause. Plus, new information on a peanut butter recall, the source of the salmonella outbreak that got dozens of people sick.
Well, right now it's a beautiful start to the day. Temperatures are gradually warming up and we have a lot of sunshine across the plains and even a little bit of snow shower activity going on over the central mountains. Well,